episode of Sleeping Giants, Red Star Belgrade. Now, there has not been a huge number of games in between this and the last episode, just because we wanted to make sure that we did the Ajax game at home, because it's probably the most important game so far in this season. So therefore I thought, you know, we need to make sure that one has an episode where we do the match. So that's what we're going to do, which means there's only 2 games in between. And as you can see, there's been a little bit of a slip up, and I'm not particularly happy with it. Now, we're going to jump straight in, and I'll show you the Vozdovats game. Now, this was a weird one. Like, we actually did play fairly well in this one, as you can see, and limited them to minimal amount of chances, but we were unable to really take many goals. The goal we scored was a free kick. Ristic, I mean, it was a good free kick, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I mean, we had a pretty strong side out for this match, and we were only able to win 1-0 against Vozdovats. It was a good goal. We did create some good chances, but we were unable to slip them away. We did manage to get away, though, with a 1-0 victory to keep it going with 12 consecutive wins at the top of the league. In our second game of the month, though, was where things took a little bit of a turn for the worse. I did rest players for this game, I'll admit that, because we had the Ajax game coming up. Do I feel that we deserve to draw this one 2-2? Fuck no. They had 3 shots and they scored 2 of them. Also, when you look at the goals, Christ, we were 2-0 up in this game as well and cruising, so I don't know what the hell happened. We did play a weakened side, of course. Yildirim's ball here into Savicevic, and it's 1-0 to Red Star after just 10 minutes, and things got better for us. You know, the game wasn't done yet. We had that hero, the hero of last episode, you know, Mamadou Sidibe, was playing up front for us in this one because we were resting some players, and well, you know, got in there again. It's great to see him do that. Now that, you know, he's showing that he can play as a striker or on the right wing, basically, and it's great to see. You know, Krupa and Kaspers and people like that played in this game, but it was good to get them a little run out. First team football for those guys is important in these sort of games, you know. Adamenko's ball in, headed down, and there's Sidibe at the back post to make it 2-0 to Red Star. And then, in the second half, I do not know what happened. I can't say they got any better, because they had 2 shots in the second half, and both of them went in the net. Like, the first one, okay, fine, it was a decent ball through, but I still think my defender should have been, I don't know what he was doing, but it was the second goal that really pissed me off. I couldn't believe this, and you guys will almost certainly know, because you've seen this sort of stuff happen all the time. I don't understand what happened here. So, basically, there's 3 different occasions where we could have cleared this ball. Watch. So, firstly, right, we get the ball down, and it's all good. Kasper's event, sorry, it's one of these stupidly long highlights as well. We very nearly, maybe even could have had a penalty though. I didn't even see him touch the ball, but anyway. There was an obvious chance to look, right, so could just win the header. No, drops over the top. Okay, clear it, the defender. No, goalkeeper should have that. What's he doing? And then I don't even know what happens there. First, the defender misses it, which was just bad defending from him, but the second one should just easily have been able to come across and take that. Instead, he decides to leave it, and then the goalkeeper is so much closer than the on-running striker, and all he has to do is come and kick that, and he doesn't. And the striker's able to score with a single shot. I mean, at least we didn't lose, I suppose, but this is why we're not going to ever get an unbeaten season, because you won't be able to stop having results like that. You will get those sort of things happening. But, you know, at least we're still unbeaten, and I think we can continue to do so, and hopefully we won't have any more games like that this month, really, because, not this month, this season, because that was an absolute shocker, I have to say. Just a terrible, terrible day. Right, let's take a little look at the squad. Top goal scorer is Luka Jovic with 15. He hasn't actually scored in the last couple. He's not looking too great in form at the moment. I worry, is basically the way I'm looking at it. I worry. Mamadou Sidibe is number 2 with 11, which is fantastic. Savicevic has 7, which is also excellent. As for assists, Savicevic has 12, Militic has 9, and Sidibe himself has 8, which is also bloody brilliant. As for man of the match, Ristic with 5, Sidibe with 4, so that's good to see as well. Top yellow cards is Adamenko with 8. Red cards is Ristic with the 1, average rating Ristic with an 8 overall, which is very, very solid. Key aerial challenges, Bazanvir with 34, but Jovic is right in there as well. Key passes, 77 for Hilo Ristic, not bad, but Savicevic up there with 64 now, interestingly. Key tackles, 16 for Bazanvira in 16 games. Interceptions, 61 for Bazanvira, and of course, value is Bazanvira with a 3.3. I'm still trying to work on getting Luka Jovic to sign a new contract, but at the moment it just isn't happening, and that is worrying, because I do not know how to make it happen, and it's such a shame, because I don't know. It's so annoying, because like, we're in the Champions League, we're regularly qualifying for the knockout stages now, and we're doing a good job, but I don't know. It's a shame. Right, so, I mean, without further ado, I suppose we should probably just get into the game, because why the hell not? We've not had a lot. This might be a little bit of a shorter episode. I don't know. We'll have a little look. What we could do is, if it is quite a short one, so if we come out of the game and I've still got, like, we're only 15 minutes on the clock, then I might have a little look at our under-21s and our youth sides and see who we've got in there and take a little look at any particularly standoutish players. Does that sound good? So we've only ever played Ajax once, and of course we lost that game, but as you can see at the moment, a win against them today would be crucial and could, in theory... Well, it's going to be really, really tough because obviously PSG are playing away at Ludogorets, but if Ludogorets was to do us a favour, then that would be just spiffing. It could be a very, very tough run in here. It's been a lot tighter than I expected it to be, I have to say. We've done a good job though, because Ajax and PSG have been a tough pair to try and overcome, but I think we've done okay. So let's just do a quick pick and get our full strength team out. Militic, Gajic, Savicevic, Jovic, Ristic, Tufedzic, who are both fully rested now, Adamenko, Bazavira, Kone, Antic and Stankovic. I tell you what, the best area of our team is quite clearly the defence. We've got two full circle players. Kone and Antic aren't far off of it either. What about that for defending? Like, that is one area on the pitch that we are definitely not lacking. And on the bench as well, Lazic, Sadibi, Toshka, Marian, Kofi and Horvath isn't exactly a weak bench, I have to say. So with that in mind, let's go for this. We're the home team. We need to come out here and have a crack at Ajax. We're the favourites, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to get buggered. We do need to get the win here, you know, because I feel like if we get the win here, that's 10 points on the board, and surely 10 points is enough to send you through, but then you just don't know. So let's go for this. They're playing an interesting type of system, so I'm a little bit worried as to how we're going to cope with that. That is the one thing that is playing on the back of my mind, is how well we'll be able to cope with them playing a system like this. But hopefully we'll come out and have a good performance. You know, we've been good at home. You know, we got the draw with PSG. God damn it. And we obviously beat Ludogorets 5-1, so hopefully a win over Ajax shouldn't be far away. Klaassen, dog, oh wow, oh Jesus Christ. We eventually managed to clear that one. There was a bit of a goalmouth scramble, but at least we actually got away with it. Unless this is going to, oh yeah, those ones never go in, do they? You know when they're never going to go in. So a good start from Ajax, but maybe that was just a blip at the start of this match. Let's hope so. Antic, can he find a pass? He can. Ristic, will he shoot? Or will he play it through? Oh, Antic out wide to Militic. Can he find a pass? Now, oh, it's a penalty to Red Star. That's the perfect start to this match. I've got my eye on the PSG game as well, though, because, you know, if Ludogorets did do us a massive favour, that could be huge for our season. Otherwise, you know, there's still the chance. Particularly if we were to not beat Ajax by enough. I think we lost 3-1 in Amsterdam, didn't we? So 1-0 at the moment, that's good. I don't know whether it would go down to away goals if we won 2-0 here, so we need to make sure that we come up with a big win. Because it stands to reason that Ajax will probably beat Ludogorets in their home match, so we could end up not qualifying for the next round despite having like 10 points, and that would be a gut-wrencher. But hopefully we'll do enough today. And hey, who knows, maybe we'll get a draw in France. Or maybe Ludogorets would do us a favour and beat them today, which will mean that nothing can matter, and we'll automatically... I think we'd even potentially top the group if that was the case, which would not be expected. I was expecting at the start of this, when I saw the group, to sort of have a good chance at maybe getting through in second, but never going to win the group. In fact, I don't think we've ever won the group yet. Gajic, round the back. Oh, what a save. I think it was a save. Yeah, it was. We've created 2 good chances out of 2 shots, and that is pleasing so far. We've only put one of them in the back of the net just yet, although admittedly it was the penalty, so... Ristic, oh, lots of space. Militic header, 2-0 Red Star. That's better. 8 minutes on the clock with 2 goals to the good against Ajax. That is perfect. But we can't really be done yet. I want to make sure that we get a third. In fact, to be honest, we're controlling the game at the moment. But at the same time, I don't want to get overconfident and start, you know, thinking that we can go flying forward all the time, because they will come back at us. But we're using that great home form again. 2 up in the first 10 minutes of this one. That is something else. They've been the better team in the air. Oh, there you go. Memphis Depay has put PSG in front, which means that we've got to buck up our ideas, I suppose. Well, not buck up our ideas, but just continue playing well. Need to make sure that we get across the line with this victory, and maybe if we can win this like 3-0, that'd be just ideal. Jovic, 3-0 Red Star Belgrade. What a clinical... Wow, we've been incredibly clinical in this first 25 minutes of this one. To go 3-0 up against Ajax so quickly just shows you how strong we are at home. I don't even know how. It just seems to happen. You know, at home, we seem to be able to beat just about anyone in world football at the moment, and that is going to be crucial for us in years to come as we start to build this into a fortress. Ajax obviously are going to start to come at us soon, but at the moment we are just controlling things. So, and they've now got an injury to deal with as well, which is certainly not going to help them in any shape or form. Another highlight now. If we got a 4th here, I would be tempted to maybe just shut up shop then, but, you know, it just, I don't know. I'm never sure, because it's like, well, do we shut up shop or do we just keep going? Because if we do, they might get a couple of goals back, and I don't really want that. But then they also might change to attacking and get a couple of goals back anyway. Gajic to the far post. Ristic brings this down. No, he's not going to be able to find a pass. Back out to Antic. Can he find a pass? Let's come back out to Ristic at the edge of the area. Good strike on the rebound. It's Militic, and it's 4-0 Red Star Belgrade. Wow. What a what a first half performance. Red Star 4, Ajax nothing. Maybe there's more here. You know, why couldn't we play like this against PSG? I know they're a better side than Ajax, but they're not that much better. Great goal from Militic again there. Well, not great goal, he's put a tap in, but the point is he's put the ball in the back of the net, and that's kind of crucial here. Let's get to half-time at 4-0 and we can sort of reassess the situation. Right, and it's 3-0 to PSG now. Also, can I just point out what a first half Militic has actually had there? 2 goals and 2 assists. Not bad, not bad. And still only on an 8.7. That is impressive. If you can score 2 goals and 2 assists and only get an 8.7, then something must be wrong. Right, so, with that in mind, I'm just going to switch things up a little bit. In the second half, I might switch it to that style at like 65 minutes, but at the moment I feel like we may as well stay with it, because we're dominating the moment, possession-wise, shots-wise, everything-wise, so I'd rather just try and keep the pressure on them for now, to try and, you know, instead of inviting the pressure on ourselves. You know, obviously they will change stuff at some point in the second half, and that's when we need to drop back. Once they start getting the chances, that's when we need to start dropping back and just consolidating what we've got and going to a more counter-attacking style, even though it's more defensive, but it still technically plays like a counter-attacking style, I've found. We seem to score a lot of goals on the break with it. Adamenko to whip one in. Oh no, goes short to Gajic. Gajic to whip one across. No, goes back to Tufedzic. We're playing a lot of nice intricate work on the edge of the area, which is nice to see actually. Adamenko, this time, no, edge of the area. Tufedzic to shoot maybe. Drops it short for Ristic to shoot maybe. Militic round the corner, and it's another penalty to Red Star. Bloody hell. Well, Militic will be taking this one, won't he, because he's on his hat-trick. Which is disappointing because he'll probably miss it now. But don't worry, you know, chance. Oh, Jovic is actually taking it. That's interesting. Usually the player on the hat trick takes it, or has Jovic scored twice already today as well? Is that why? Oh yeah, sorry, that's what's happened. Red Star 5, Ajax 0. I'm a little bit in shock at the moment as to how we've come up with a 5-0 win over Ajax. I mean, it was good to rest those players during the midweek, I have to say. I mean, it's almost worth drawing that game to make sure that we got across the line in this one, to be honest. It would take some effort from Ajax to get a better head-to-head from us. Now, I think this would actually mean that we're basically through, because Ajax's head-to-head won't be better than ours. They'll be unable to overtake us, even if they were to win against Ludogorets. So if we can keep the scoreline as it is, in fact, they'd have to score 3 goals in the last half an hour to have a chance. So at the moment, it looks like we're heading through to the next round in a minimum of second place. And if we can get a draw in France, we could actually go through as top place. Savicevic... Can Gajic play on the left-hand side? I always forget. He can, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Gajic on there and bring on Sadibi with the first change. Strikers have been solid today, so I don't want to bring those guys off. I might just get Kofi on for Tufedzic, who's not... I mean, he's had an okay game, 7.5, but he's probably been one of the weaker performers on the team. So we'll get Kofi on. He's done okay for us. So 5-0 up at the moment. It is happy days. Oh, come on. Okay, cool. Oh, we don't have anyone that can really... Oh, yes, we do. And that means... yeah, we'll bring on Horvath up front. Jovic will have to play out on the left for the rest of this game. I'm just going to give them a little team talk just to make sure they do tighten up. You know, I'd like to get the clean sheet if we can here. But there's no need to sit back just yet. That would invite the extra pressure, and Ajax haven't really been able to offer a great deal so far. Oh, maybe they actually are about to finally. And oh, what about that for defending and goalkeeping? That was some good play. 5-0. This is what I mean about home form. You know, I think this is why it's going to be so crucial in the latter stages of these competitions that we have this sort of home form. You know, as we showed against Arsenal when we got to the quarterfinals 2 years ago, it was all about that home form, and we very nearly managed to beat, or at least take, Liverpool all the way based on our home form, considering how dominant they were against us away from home. But we went, you know, brought Liverpool back here and we beat them 2-1. It could have been 3-1 if it wasn't for the fact that Jovic missed that goddamn penalty. Knocked up into the midfield. Ristic knocks that down, but nobody's there. I think we're pretty happy at the moment just to sort of sit, but Kone and just mopped up lovely stuff, right? So yeah, it's good, and it'll be a clean sheet in Europe, which I don't think we've actually achieved as yet. Oh, so much space for Horvath there, who's looking a better and better player every time, but unfortunately now that I've said that, he's just immediately lost the ball. A little bit of a gap emerging here. Dabadur, and again a great block, just throwing everything on the line today. They were clearly very, very up for it, and we've come up with a truly historically large win. 5-0 against Ajax is a huge one. You know, we've beaten some big teams in Europe before. Oh, wow. You know, I suppose the 6-1 against Arsenal probably still will go down as our biggest ever and most famous win in the European Cup in this save so far. But you never know. You know, Last year we went out to Chelsea and, we were battered in the away leg, unfortunately, and the home leg just didn't go our way. But, maybe if we can win the group, who knows? Maybe we'll get a better draw this time around. However, the problem is with PSG that, we do need to get a draw in France if we've got any hope of actually winning this group. That's the problem. I just don't see that happening. I can't see us getting a draw in France against them. Ball in the box. Horvar, and again, he's good in the air, but he's not quite got the heading accuracy just yet. And there we go. Crvena Zvezda, 5. Ajax, 2. And look at that. Militic got 3 assists and 2 goals. A 9.7, and Jovic with a hat-trick as well. That is a day for the strikers, guys. And Tufetic also got 2 assists, so I'm surprised his rating was so low at the time, really. That is truly glorious. I couldn't have asked for a better performance, genuinely. The fact that Jovic has got himself yet another hat-trick means he's surely got to be up there in terms of the top scorers in the Champions League again. He just seems to find goals. We've scored 20 goals in 5 matches in Europe as well, which is crazy. 5 goals. We scored 5 in 3 separate games. In fact, our last 3 games in the Champions League, we scored 5 goals, and the one before that, we got 4 against PSG. So who knows? Let's just take a little look at the other groups to see how things are shaping up at the moment, to see who we could potentially be playing if we were to go through, plus to see whether Jovic is on that. No, he's not yet made that onto that list, but average rating, Militic is up there and is the best average rating player in the entire Champions League at the moment, which is crazy. And for a striker, has 7 assists, which is the most, so well done, mate. United are through, so there's that. It's between Internazionale and Hamburg for the other spot. Atletico and Liverpool are also both through. So, as for other groups, who else is through? Barcelona and Benfica are through. Real Madrid are through, but Porto or Galatasaray will fill the other spot. Bayern are through, but AS Roma or Man City are still up for grabs. And Chelsea and Feyenoord are through. And in the other group, Juventus and Basel or Monaco. So, interesting stuff. I'm trying to think, in the next episode, we may as well come back for the last game of the Champions League, because otherwise, it's the last game of this half of the season, so it makes sense to come back and do the last game of the Champions League, because it is going to decide whether we top the group or not, and that's quite important. There are 3 games in between. We've got Metalats, Čukarički and Mladost. So, and it's a quarter-final in there against Čukarički to see if we can go, I don't know how many. I think we're 26 matches unbeaten in the Serbian Cup, which is a ridiculous amount. That's like 4.5 years since we lost a cup game. I think the last time we lost a cup game was when we got knocked out by that 3rd division side, and I was just, but we've won it every single time since then, and I want to see how many years we can go unbeaten in the cup. Let's just take a little look at the youngsters that we've got, since we've got a little bit of extra time in this episode. So reserves, obviously that isn't always youngsters, but potential-wise, so Yildirim still has a great amount of potential according to my scouts, and I'm liking him. He's taking his time settling in. I don't know why it won't let me change his training focus, because he's at the club. Has anyone noticed that? Since the update, I don't seem to have been able to set a new position training for any of the players. Let me just check something. Yeah, I've noticed that seems to be... I mean, he's already training for that position, interestingly, which is strange. Martin Scala also looks amazing. He's a kind of Regista type of player, but look at that first touch already. And he's only 17, so he's got a long way to improve. But, he's a decent player. Obviously, we don't play at a defensive midfielder, so, it might be worth training him possibly as a centre-back. I don't know. Of course not. We can't do that, can we? So why won't they let me train him, or is he trained as a centre-back too? No, that's what I don't get. So why is... He's already natural in that position, so why is he being trained in that position, and why won't it let me change it? Kone, of course, look at that. 22 years old. I don't know why is he still a reserve, either. That's weird. Let's have a look. This is a good point of doing this, actually. Nathan Xavier, again, looks like a fairly decent player. And look at that. I mean, he's got that eyeliner and everything, and determination. He looks like a solid player as well. I assume, I want him to be playing really... I mean, that's the thing. We've got a lot of great attacking mids, but I want them to be able to play deeper. And again, it won't let me change the starting positions, training positions of these players at the moment. Again, he's already training there, which is interesting. I just don't understand why it won't let me change them. I mean, Ashraf, of course, was out on loan. He's on loan at Everton at the moment. That's mental. How can he be... I mean, he's not even really good enough to get in our first team, but Everton want him. That shows you how good of a player he looks to become, and I kind of agree, actually. So, then again, next season, I think he could be crucial, because he's a left-back. With him on the left and Adamenko on the right, we've got a real dream team of wonderful wing-backs there. So that's good. He's sort of going to slowly replace probably Nikola Antic over time, but he's still only 19 and he's got a long way to go yet, but still looks like a fairly solid prospect. Nico Kaspers, of course, Again, he's improving incredibly, and my scouts really are starting to rate him again. They went right down to like 3 stars at one point, but now it's really climbing again. As you can see, he's putting in the effort, and I'm pleased to see that. I'm almost tempted to move him to the first team squad as well, actually, because he has been getting games for us. So I'm just tempted to just move him to the senior squad as well, since they can play for the under-18s anyway. But I just feel like maybe having him around is probably better than not having him around. As for anyone else. Anyone else consistently? Obviously, got a lot of players out on loan. Kofi does play a fair amount for us actually, and he's 21 now, so he's probably worth moving into the squad as well, to make sure we've got a decent number of players there. Sidibe is another one that really shouldn't be in the reserves. I really needed to sort through this. And as you sort of move down here, you know, some players that I signed and thought they were going to be good, and they just haven't really made the cut. You know, they'll all be released when their contracts expire, essentially, and there's a load of youngsters here that just won't ever really make the cut. I do need to go through and release a lot of these guys, actually, I think, because from what I've been told, they are still using up money, so release on a free. Does that work? I'll have to go through and do this after an episode, because this is going to take ages. Let's take a little look at the under-19s now. So this is mostly going to be, you know, players that have come through at the club, basically. So we've still got some quality, and as you can see, the one I'm really excited about is Sinisa Pavic. Still only 16 years old. They rate him incredibly highly, and he plays in some interesting positions as well, so I like this guy a lot. And he's got a beard like that at 16, and that is always a sort of shining light for me. You know how I saw Tufedzic and thought, yep, Lubisa's beard is a glorious thing, and Sinisa's beard is a glorious thing too. He looks quality. Enis Galasic, he looks like a decent player as well. He's got some massive gaping holes in his play, though, as you can see from the attribute analysis here. A lot of his mental stats are quite poor. His concentration is incredibly low. His off the ball and bravery are very low. For a centre back, that's not really what you want. Attacking wise as well, he's absolutely woeful. But again, you wouldn't need him for that. Great in the air. He's got decent vision and defending, but I don't know. His mentals are very low. I know he's 16, but I'm not entirely sold on him. And we've got a guy here called Milovan Tufedzic, no relation. Also, he's very, very blonde, which is interesting. And yeah, he's sort of like the other prospect potentially down there. Obviously, we're going to have another youth intake coming up in March, so hopefully we'll get some more through, because we really have been ploughing everything we can into our youth department. Let's just take a little look, in fact. Club, that's the wrong one, isn't it? I'm just going to ask and see if we can improve the youth facilities even more. Cut back youth recruitment. Decrease. No, see, this is the thing. Maybe we've maxed it out, who knows. If that's the case, I expect to see some better players coming through than what we're getting at the moment, if I'm honest. But, so there you go, guys. In the next episode, we'll of course be doing the game against PSG, the crunch one that will decide whether we go through as group winners or group runners-up, which, frankly, either way is fine by me, but I would love to win it, just to give us that chance of a slightly easier draw in the next round, and maybe one that we can actually win and get to the quarterfinals for only the second time in this save. So, guys, if you like what you're seeing, please feel free to drop a like on the video, and if you'd like to even more than that, please subscribe to my channel for more Portsmouth and Red Star Belgrade in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock. And I will see you guys in the next episode for the game against PSG. Bye-bye.